अर्बन सेटअप सिर्फ एक वो फेक बॉलीवुड फेक जो अर्बन सेटअप होता है, ओबराय फैमिली और हेलीकॉप्टर से लैंड कर रहे हैं और गाना गा रहे हैं, वो तो फेक, वो तो भाई दिल चाहता है कि तो रियल पिक्चर थी। उससे ज्यादा अर्बन रियल फिल्म क्या हो सकती है?
I think script is the base, the subject, the script इसका जो बाइबल होता है, because ये long format ऐसा है, इसके बहुत अलग अलग चैलेंज है, इसमें वेरिएबल्स बहुत ज्यादा है।
In an ideal world, script, director, producer, banner, studio, and in a real world, डेट खाली है, पैसे चाहिए, घूमना है आउटडोर में, सब सच सच में हर एक इंसान के लाइफ में, किसी को भी IMDb पेज खोल के देख लो, समझ में आ जाएगा।
So firstly guys, welcome to Pinkvilla. It's lovely having the three of you here.
Thank you, Vidit. Thank you.
My first question is to Tigmanshu sir. So firstly, what is the biggest challenge of adapting a novel into a web series format for you as a director?
The challenge is to adapt the thoughts of the character, and if it is being written in first person, then the writer and the characters as well. Because in a novel, the writer writes, the character is thinking like that. He's blue completely, and he's moody, he's introspective, and pages about what he's feeling. Now, to adapt those feelings is difficult in cinema. In earlier theatre, the actor used to say, I'm standing here, that's how I'm feeling. When theatre at that time was more poetic. Even Shakespeare did it a lot of times. But in today's modern times, to adapt these feelings, earlier what used to happen, the actor, the hero would have a friend with whom he will talk about his feelings. ये ट्रिक्स होती थी कि दोस्त है, दोस्त के साथ वो शेयर कर रहा है अपनी फीलिंग। अगर ऐसी सिचुएशन नहीं है, like Suraj is like Pratik's character or Richa's character in this film, in this show, they don't have friends. Probably Richa has an assistant, a subordinate with whom she has a very good, warm brother-sister kind of relationship. But Pratik does not have one. अब ये किसके सामने अपनी फीलिंग बताएगा? So to adapt those, to convert those feelings in an audio-visual medium is the only challenge.
And what's with this title, The Great Indian Murder? It like ever since the title has been announced, everyone has been talking as to कहाँ से आया ये title? Like it's so catchy.
ये गलती मुझसे ही हुई है क्योंकि पहले तो हम लोग earlier इसका नाम 6 Suspects ही रख रहे थे, जैसा आपकी नॉवल है। फिर लगा कि इतने सारी चेंजेस किए हमने, तो टाइटल भी चेंज करना चाहिए। तो बहुत सारे टाइटल्स आ रहे थे और कुछ हिंदी में थे, और हिंदी में सडनली इसका टाइटल कुछ अच्छी नहीं लग रहा था। मैं हिंदी लैंग्वेज को ऐसा ना समझिएगा, मैं बहुत इज्जत करता हूँ हिंदी लैंग्वेज। सडनली मेरे मुंह से निकला द ग्रेट इंडियन मर्डर, और निकलते मैंने कहा कि नहीं, ये टाइटल नहीं होगा, बिकॉज बड़ा पॉम्पस साउंड करता है। आप खुद ही अपने आप को कैसे शाबाशी देते हैं भाई आपने द ग्रेट इंडियन मर्डर बनाया, कल ऊपर नीचे हो गया, लोग क्या कहेंगे, बहुत बनाने चले थे ग्रेट इंडियन मर्डर, क्या हुआ? तो मैं बहुत डर रहा था। बट जितने क्रू मेंबर्स हैं, असिस्टेंट्स हैं, डिज्नी स्टार के लोग हैं, बहुत सारे लोग, प्रोड्यूसर, सब ने कहा कि यही टाइटल ठीक लग रहा है, यही टाइटल, तो फिर अपनी बात मान ली गई।
And Pratik, you know, you played a scamster like in Scam 1992, and now over here you are playing an upright officer. Could you tell us something about the transition and the idea of picking this as your as a OTT show?
So earlier I was in the other side of the table, and now I am on the other side. So
yeah,
I have become an investigative officer in this CBI, and as Richa said, that this is not a part of the book. This character is not a part of the book. So when I met Kishu sir first time, and he said that this is what we are thinking and this is how we are bringing this character. So they sort of, mine and Richa's character, we sort of become the central narrator also. And from our point of view and perspective, the stories are moving also. He is playing a cop and I am a CBI guy. They are jointly investigating it. For me, it's very exciting because I had never done any such character earlier. I never done an officer earlier.
Yeah.
So that is one part. The other part is Tishu sir was directing it. He's written it. I was always excited to work with him, and this was my chance to do so. And so yeah, this, I guess good enough reason for me. And when I got the script, when I read it, I guess there was. It's a treat for me to be a part of it.
Correct, correct. And Tigmanshu sir, earlier in the day, like let's say 5 years down the lane, there were a lot of novels which were adapted into feature films. And now there is this entire new advent of OTT which has come up in a big way. As a director and writer, how do you decide that I want to adapt this novel into a feature film format vis-a-vis a web series format?
Just refresh my memory, which novels were adapted for films earlier?
There was Three Idiots, which was based on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm talking generally. There have been a lot of novels which have been adapted. So.
मतलब ये भगत की novels बोल रहा है ना?
Yes.
हाँ, उसी की हुई और तो किसी की हुई नहीं, हुई है.
I think we have maybe एक दो और exception, yeah.
I think उन्हीं की हुई. तो वो तो इसलिए भी नहीं है क्योंकि चेतन भगत बहुत पॉपुलर राइटर है, बहुत लोग पढ़ते हैं उनको, तो उससे अपने आप एक अच्छा मार्केटिंग का एक बन जाता है, तो बुरी बात नहीं. When you pick a novel and you decide whether to make a film or a show out of it, it entirely depends on the material of the novel. Usually, novel and Sixth Suspect is quite unique in that nature. Let me tell you how. Though it is a murder mystery, and murder mystery novels can be adapted into a film. If it's just a pure murder mystery with few characters, set in a small town, or a film like Knives Out, which is set in a big house, all the Death on the Nile, and Murder on the Orient Express, one location, 8, 9, 10 characters. Then it is fine. Then it is very good for a film, for a 2-hour long film. But as I said, Sixth Suspect is unique because Sixth Suspect has a very, very large canvas. It is not just about the novel; it is about the domino effect of the murder which happens later, the implications of the murder. Many characters उनके जो motives हैं, इसके political connotation निकलने लगते हैं, political scheme होने लगती है after the murder, before the murder also, and the characters are there's a variety of characters. Somebody is from Andaman, a tribal boy from there, a film hero from Bollywood. A senior retired IAS officer with Raghuveer Yadav sir is playing. Nobody got pocket mar, Munna mobile. तो अभी एक कैरेक्टर आएगा लैरी पेज जो कि अमेरिका से आएगा. तो because the world is so big, it was not possible to bundle it up in a 2-hour long film.
Correct.
इसके लिए एक तो ही correct एक platform था. That is why.
Correct. And Pratik and Richa, for the two of you, how was it to get into the world of kind of cinema that Tigmanshu Dhulia makes? Because it is raw and rustic. That's his space. So.
I loved his space. I loved all his films earlier also. Pan Singh Tomar is my personal favorite. So I always wanted to, be a part of this kind of storytelling, create the character that, are always part of his story. So I could relate to it also, and I wanted to do it.
I'm also real and rustic. I think we all come from there. I'm not in denial of my roots. And that's why I love his stuff, whether it's Pan Singh Tomar or Hasil. I love it. And I don't think that, जो प्रोजेक्ट बनाने वाला सिस्टम होता है और फिर एक डायरेक्टर जिसके साथ आप काम करते हो, जिसको समझ होती है भारत के छोटे शहर की भी, गाँव की भी, अंडमान की भी, तो मजा कुछ अलग होता है क्योंकि उसमें एक पर्सपेक्टिव आता है. There's a vision, It's not just, it doesn't feel like an outsider's gaze. जैसा कई बार मैं दिल्ली से हूँ, मुझे बहुत ऑफेंस होता है. दिल्ली के सारे लोग एक तरह से बात करते हैं, एक तरह के हेयर कट होते हैं सब लड़कों के, जो कमर्शियल फिल्में होती है, एक तरह का प्यार होता है, एक तरह की इमेजरी होती है. मुझे लगता है कि थोड़ा ब्रॉडन करो, घूमो सड़कों में, देखो कैसे प्यार होता है गलियों में, फिर पता चलेगा. सो आई थिंक हम सभी रियल और रस्टिक हैं यार दोस्त. मैं तो हूँ, इसलिए मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है इनके साथ काम करना.
And does it get easier, when you are offered a character which is so real that and relatable for you as an actor, for both of you, I mean,
No.
for you and Pratik? No.
I can't relate to the character of a woman who's in the crime branch. I cannot. It's so far from my life choice. I can't relate
See,
to this character, but can I relate to some qualities that she has? Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
As a
in that
woman,
way,
I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
हाँ,
In fact, looking at the story
sorry.
and its world, we have to make the character relatable to the overall scheme of things. It can't be a separate individual character who is having his own journey. It's in the totality. So most of the time when we even perform, I do that I see it from the perspective of an audience. That if I'm doing it this way, will it get translated? Will it communicate what we actually want to communicate? And if not, then I have to tweak it. I have to take it to another level. But being in that boundary of the character and his world. So yeah, but there are a lot of things that we don't relate. We have never seen, we have never read about, and the character is going through those kind of complex emotions, and that's, I guess, very challenging and very satisfying also as an actor.
And to explore new emotions, basically.
Yeah.
And Tigman sir, you have made a lot of films which are set in the heartland of India, like such as the villages, the smallest of villages. And if you look at it over here, there's a transition to the urban space as well. How do you see this transition? Of course, there is the political element, there are the subplots which are set in the heartland, but how do you see this transition of you as a director? Even Criminal Justice was there for this, of course. So.
I was not born in a village. I was born in a place called Allahabad, जो कि मुझे लगता है हिंदुस्तान के बहुत कम इतने मॉडर्न सिटीज होंगे जितना इलाहाबाद ना. तो ऐसा नहीं है. मेरा बैंड था, उसका नाम पैरानॉइड था, अंग्रेजी में गाना गाते थे. ऐसा नहीं है कि मुंबई के लोग.
नहीं, I was saying the films that you made earlier. ऐसा मतलब in that sense.
हाँ, तो मतलब ये है कि मैंने ये भी देखा है, मैंने वो भी देखा. आंखें खुली नहीं जब तक मैं जिंदगी जी, आंखें खोल के जिए. तो अर्बन सेटअप क्या होता है? अर्बन सेटअप सिर्फ एक वो फेक बॉलीवुड फेक जो अर्बन सेटअप होता है, ओबरॉय फैमिली और हेलीकॉप्टर से लैंड कर रहे हैं और गाना गा रहे हैं, वो तो फेक. वो तो भाई दिल चाहता है भी तो रियल पिक्चर थी. उससे ज्यादा अर्बन रियल फिल्म क्या हो सकती है? फरहान अख्तर साहब ने अपनी सोसाइटी को, बम्बई के अपने दोस्तों को साथ जिए, बहुत ही आंखें खोल के उन्होंने पिक्चर बनाई. वो भी तो बहुत रियल पिक्चर थी. वो फेक अर्बन पिक्चर नहीं थी जैसे और पिक्चरें होती है हमारी हिंदी. उसी तरह की जैसे जो दुनिया उन्होंने देखी, उन्होंने बड़ी रियल से पिक्चर बनाई, वैसे मैंने जो दुनिया देखी है मैं भी बनाता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं अर्बन देखा नहीं, हमने भी देखा. हम भी बड़े बड़े लोग घर में गए भाई, वो एक्सपीरियंस किया हमने भी.
Correct. And this question is for all three of you. Ajay Devgan is producing the show. How much does that help the show when it comes to reaching out to a wide section of audience as a producer as well?
यार एज ए प्रोड्यूसर तो बहुत फायदा होता है, क्योंकि हमारी लड़ाइयाँ जो हम नहीं लड़ सकते, जो कि हमेशा प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ लड़ी जाती हैं, वो उन लड़ाइयों में अब हमको अजय देवगन हमारे आगे रख उनको कर देते थे, हम जीत जाते थे. तो उसमें बहुत फायदा हुआ.
And what do you have to say, Chan, Pratik, about this Ajay Devgan's involvement as a producer on the show?
सही बोल रहे हैं सर. हमारे सुरक्षा कवच एक मिल जाता है. And hats off to the producers, really, to Real Films and to Ajay Devgan Films for accepting a challenge as big as this, to shoot a show as big as this in so many cities in the middle of a pandemic. मतलब फर्स्ट वेव के बाद सेकंड वेव की शुरुआत में हमने शुरू किया, फिर ब्रेक ली, फिर खत्म किया, आज रिलीज हो रहा है. ये छोटी बात नहीं है.
Yeah. And as an actor, because he's also an actor, so there are a lot of things that he understands. He's just not another producer who's just there, for the sake of it. So though I have had a very limited discussions about it. बहुत सारी चीजें तो हम तक पहुंचती भी नहीं है, हमें तो पता भी नहीं होता किस हिसाब से. जैसे सर ने बताया कुछ लड़ाइयाँ होती हैं, कुछ डिस्कशंस, बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं. But I'm just guessing one thing, that because he's also an actor, he understands a lot of things about how the script is being made, and the script sees the light of the day. So start to finish का पूरा process उनको पता होता है, and that helps a lot, for sure.
Correct. And last couple of questions. Richa and Pratik, what are the factors that you look into while greenlighting a particular series?
I think script is the base. The subject, the script, इसका जो बाइबल होता है, because ये long format ऐसा है, इसके बहुत अलग अलग चैलेंज है, इसमें वेरिएबल्स बहुत ज्यादा है. एक फिल्म से कई ज्यादा वेरिएबल्स सीरीज में होते हैं, और मतलब इसका शूट टाइम भी बहुत लंबा है, इसका क्यूरेशन टाइम भी उतना ही लंबा है. तो इसमें बहुत एनर्जी चाहिए. And when I'm saying energy, with all the resources. So to greenlight a project, a lot of things required, and the basic is the script, because only content is surviving and content is thriving these days. So yeah.
Correct. And Richa, for you?
In an ideal world, script, director, producer, banner, studio. And in a real world, डेट खाली है, पैसे चाहिए, घूमना है आउटडोर में, सब सच. सच में हर एक इंसान के लाइफ में, किसी को भी IMDb पेज खोल के देख लो, समझ में आ जाएगा.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But in an ideal world, this is ideal case scenario. This is ideal for me.
Correct. Got it.
Yeah.
And Tikmanshi sir, what next for you after Six Suspect? I believe you are writing and directing Dabangg 4 as well. So that's the talk.
The writing is in process. अभी कब होगी उसका पता नहीं है, पर राइटिंग चल रही है. और मैं भी परसों जा रहा हूँ नए शो की शूटिंग करने के लिए भोपाल.
Okay.
शो का नाम है गर्मी.
Okay. So
student politics में.
Oh wow. Oh, so interesting lineup basically with two films, one show and one film actually. And Pratik and Richa, what next for you after?
I'm going to start shooting Fukre 2. Then Ali and I are working on a play. Fukre 3, yeah, sorry. Fukre 3 के शूट है. फिर हम मार्च में एक नाटक करना चाह रहे हैं, अली और मैं, और हमारा एक और साथी है, वो NSDC, उसका नाम है अमितोष. हाँ यार, साल का एक नाटक तो कर ही सकते हैं ना.
होना ही चाहिए.
जिम की फोटो डालने के अलावा भी और काम है दुनिया में. तो एक नाटक करेंगे हम लोग, वो ट्रैवल भी करेगा. इट्स एन अडेप्टेशन ऑफ मिडसमर नाइट्स ड्रीम. और उसके बाद मैंने एक स्क्रीन प्ले लिखा है, वो कोशिश करूंगी कि वो बन जाए. और फिर एक कुछ प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, वो फ्लोर पे जाएगा सितंबर में.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a very exciting year.
Very, very exciting.
Yes. And Pratik, for you?
So, मेरे लिए couple of films are lined up that I'll be shooting, और एक वेब शो होगा. So अभी मेरी 1.5 बीघा जमीन करके एक फिल्म मैंने जो की है वो. दूसरी अभी एलिप्सिस और प्लॉज की एक फिल्म है जो अभी कंप्लीट. और रॉय कपूर फिल्म्स के साथ मैं वो लड़की है कहाँ जो एक फिल्म कर रहा हूँ जिसमें तापसी भी है. So ये 3 फिल्में होंगी रिलीज पे इस साल.
और हमारी पिक्चर
हमारी सर, हम तो हाँ मतलब आप बोले नहीं तो मैंने सोचा आप बाद में बताएंगे, इसलिए हम बाद में बताएंगे. पर सर के साथ भी एक फिल्म कर रहे हैं, तो वो भी जल्दी.
Oh, feature film, like.
Yes, feature film.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's amazing. Looking forward to that as well. So, sir has 3 projects now as a director and writer.
और वो बहुत ही exciting project है, तो मैं मतलब I'm waiting कि कब करें.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely talking to the 3 of you, and wish you all the best for the show and everything that's in the pipeline.